To Tenby Lifeboat Station, Pembrokeshire, and another grateful survivor has come to thank her rescuers.
You alright? And you, nice to see you again.
How are you? Good to see you. Wanna come on into the...
Julie Brooks was walking along the shoreline here with her family in November when the tide started to come in.
I knew we had to climb, quickly because it was going to be catching us up fairly quickly. And by the time we got to the base of the rocks I was climbing, it would have been too late to go back. It was too far to go back.
While Julie's children managed to climb to safety, she got stuck.
But I could see the weather was changing, it was getting dark, I was beginning to shiver, and the children had sort of made it to the top. The oldest one had helped the younger ones. And I couldn't really, the wind was too strong to convey to anybody the danger I knew I was in. And I just, as I say, toyed with the idea of shall I, shan't I call them? No, you can't, yes you can, you've got to. And in the end I just knew that the longer I left it, the worse it was going to be, because the harder it would be for the rescue teams to kind of get to me and help me.
Julie dialed 999 and the Coast Guard alerted Tenby lifeboat crew. Volunteer crew member and school computer engineer Ben James received the call at work.
It was actually under a desk rewiring a network socket for the kids' PCs, and the pager went off and I smashed my head on the desk as I got up.
Once they were safe, once I could see that they were up, then I was obviously relieved about that, because I then did consider the fact that I was going to die. I really was in a position where I didn't know if I would live.
Meanwhile, the lifeboat crew arrived at the scene.
Obviously, we couldn't have got into the rocks because of the swell with the big boat, so we've got a Y boat in the stern of this the lifeboat here. So we launched that, and myself and one of the other boys, he was on the engine, dropped me into the rocks with the radio. And I went up, climbed up to where Julie was and assessed how she was. Radioed back to the boat then for a little more help. So Will came out then as well.
When we arrived at the cliff, Julie was obviously very scared. She'd been there for a long time and starting to get cold. The position she was in was quite precarious, although we didn't let her know that at the time, because there were rocks that could potentially have fallen. So our main priority was to move Julie slightly inwards and to a safer position. And it took a while to get the confidence back in her to start moving. She was glued to the spot, as people often are when they're scared. Luckily the helicopter came very quickly and we didn't have to wait around for too long. So we got Julie to a more comfortable position with the help of the Coast Guard, and then we just helped keep her warm and keep her spirits up until the helicopter arrived. Personally,
I've always I've always sort of thought of the RNLI as a sort of obviously a great charity, but one that's kind of fairly remote from affecting my life until the 4th of November last year, when obviously it was an incredibly amazing day where I needed the service myself. And so when you do, obviously it becomes very different.
Julie was one of 8,313 people rescued by our lifeboat crews in 2010. That's more than any other year on record.